811,000.
That's all?
Up from 805.
Wait, it was 805. Wait, they were
811 last night, 805 the week before.
Oh.
So 6,000 more people watched it. That's not good.
Well, no. Let me tell you something. That is a good number. Okay. What the number that sucked was the week before. Okay, that was a very bad number. This number is about what you'd expect it, like a low number for them, because of Valentine's Day. But it's pretty funny. It's their fan base. There's not a lot of people missing the show to go to Valentine's. But you would have thought that would be
100%. And right. A lot of them don't even have girlfriends.
Right, exactly. And a
lot of them, their Valentine's Day would be watching the show because they're such marks.
Yeah, and it was just this is kind of a weird show to visually watch. Because in the main event, I just could not help but thinking, like, this was Valentine's Day. Like, it's a day where couples are getting together. They're lying on the couch watching TV. Like the main event, I'm like, going, like, really? So it starts off, no introduction to anything. They just...
What was the highest rated thing on the show?
Hey, look that up, Joe, while we're doing this.
90. Moxley Hardwood, second quarter, 905.
So Moxley wrestles Hardwood, and this match was Brian Alvarez tweeted Moxley versus Hardwood ruled. Like, this was like a great one for these guys. Hardwood's going to have a good match, but I don't understand what this angle started with them having a stare down and they started punching each other. So now
Moxley actually kissed him. I was like, what?
Yeah, so Hardwood and him go at it for 18 minutes. Okay, and after the match, Moxley didn't release a rear naked choke. Now, let me honest. But this is so stupid, okay? If you're going to, do, MMA fusion, all right? And, you're going to use a choke for the finish, a choke out. And you want to mimic MMA. Okay, you choke the guy out, the referee, either you tap out or the referee, raises the arm, okay? If the guy is keeping the chokehold on, and this is, real MMA, the referee needs to sell a lot more urgency, because if we're trying to sell this as real as MMA choke, bro, you can kill the guy if you don't release a choke. For first shoot, okay? So there should be some urgency from the referee to try to get the guy to release the hold, okay? And people should be hitting the ring immediately, like it would happen in real MMA. If a guy was choking a guy out in the middle of the ring and the referee wasn't stopping the fight, and you tried to stop the guy and he wasn't stopping, okay? You think the guys would die, right? So that's a detail that completely just goes out the window. So Cash Wheeler was down and started beating out of Moxley.
Okay.
So then so they come down and he starts beating him up. Then Claudio runs out and tries to stop him. They start fighting, but he hits him with his neutralizer. And then Moxley put Hardwood in choke while Castagnoli put Wheeler in a submission hold. And then they released the holds and walked out. So this was actually good heat. But they went 18 minutes. He choked the guy out, and they beat the babyfaces down. These poor babyfaces need to get a big comeback next week, because this was a burial of Dax and Wheeler. But it was the match was fine. Moxley mails it in when he works. He literally did, if there's spots where he has to stand there and wait for the guy, he'll just literally just stand flat-footed in place and just bend over and look at the guy and wait for him to come right. And he doesn't sell the other guy's offense hardly at all. He's just a very, it's like he's mailing in the work part. He doesn't let make other guys look good, or he actively tries to not sell for them. It looks just, I don't know. It's just, you can plainly see this too if you watch the matches. Just when I'm pointing this out, watch Moxley when he works and see if he sells for his opponent, like his opponent sells for him. And you tell me. So that's what I'm seeing. But this is building up to a tag, obviously. What do you think of this, Tony?
I just thought it was weird that for 2 or 3 weeks, these Mexican guys just showed up out of nowhere and they were wrestling them. And now where are they? Why did that end?
I guess it's over. Yeah.
That's it?
I guess.
Okay. And so, yeah.
They should have been still involved in this somehow, or maybe.
Right. Or maybe a backstage something, I don't know.
Right. So this is weird. Did Callis, Hobbs, and Takeshita interview backstage, and Callis says, nobody wants to fight Takeshita because he's beating everybody. And then he announced that he's got to go in family, and Takeshi's got to fight Will Ospreay. This is a terrible build-up. They just put this together so that the dirt sheet guys can fawn over how many stars. Yeah. But this is a horrific build-up for a match. I'm sorry. If I was Don, I would have come on, you could have come up with something more creative than this.
You've got a locker room full
You know,
of guys that
come on.
want to go, and you can't put Takeshita against one of those guys,
Or just do better storytelling than this.
or even
You know?
do a
Something, anything.
or even do a 4-way where it's Takeshita, him, and 2 other guys, But this, we're gonna face each other. Yeah, when I saw that and I heard it, I thought this is brutal.
Wardlow with another
Pull that
squash.
mic away a little, Di.
What
A
else?
little bit. Pull that mic away a little bit.
How's that?
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, perfect.
So Wardlow with another back to Zuna's 1-minute squashes against Jobbers. And no angle here, nothing.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but to me, Wardlow's lost a lot of steam.
Well, he's been booked. He hasn't done anything. How many weeks in a row can you go out there and just beat Jobbers and be interesting?
Plus, he already did the squash thing, and he was, it was interesting then. He was coming up. Now it's not interesting anymore.
Well, it's kind of up to him, too. It's his career to say, hey, let's stop this boring. It's not getting over anymore, and put me in a storyline.
Right.
Could just be happy to be back on TV, though.
There's 80 guys. Well, if you're just happy, then you deserve that. You know what?
Yeah.
You deserve that. Good. Keep having him squash people. Because if you did that to me, I'd be complaining.
Right.
Yeah.
So next is so they showed the Young Bucks showing up, and they were wearing the same white clothes.
Yeah, that's brutal too.
Blood. I know. Absolutely.
Right.
Look, here's the problem: is that
You're supposed to believe you don't clean your clothes and you're just going to wear them with blood on them to get heat. It's kind of silly.
They're like the Young Bucks. I'm sorry. It's like they've been so used to Japanese TV. It's like they're doing American television and they're trying to get heat, but it's like, it's like the concept is okay. Your execution is kind of silly, because it's not. If you're coming across as heels, but you're still doing it in a very comedic way, and like you don't want like people laughing at like bro, when they come out of the plane, they got the blood. The thing, I'm laughing at that. That's not like he like, oh my God, they've got because first of all, we all know that the wrestlers these days, they cut themselves. Like the blood's completely unnecessary. Now you're actually selling the blood, and it's like I said, it's like South Park humor. So I don't know. So they showed
I just
up.
think to me, it's like it's just not necessary. They already did it 1 week. That was cool. I mean, what are you going to do it forever? I mean,
Right. So Adam Copeland against Garcia. They're going down. So Copeland did not win. Nick Wayne and Killswitch ran in, attacked him. Then Christian Cage, so it was a no contest. Cage and Shayna Wayne came down. Then Menard stood up for the broadcast table to confront Cage, but Killswitch hit him from behind. Then he set up Garcia for Concerto, but Copeland returned the ring to the chair, ran off Nick and Killswitch. Then Copeland and Cage slammed chairs together, and Cage dropped the chair. Cage was selling really good here. This is actually good heel stuff. Then Copeland backed him into the corner, then Shayna low-blowed Cage. Then Cage hit Copeland with the Concerto. Then Cage put his foot on Copeland and held up the TNT title belt while his allies stood next to him. Nick Wayne's offense looked very weak here on the beatdown. I noticed. But Cage's body language and presence here was very good. His selling was very good. But I got to give him credit here. 2 segments in a row that they ended with heat. Okay, which is like way out of character for this show. Would you agree with that?
Oh yes, 100%. I would almost guess that Edge, being old school, said, "Hey, we need some heat here."
Right.
Right.
So he doesn't show heat.
Right.
I like the fact that they have Menard included, though, and putting him with Garcia is good. And then if they're going to
What does it
associate,
even have to do with Garcia? What I don't understand.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I was thinking
weird.
Well, they were all together in the Jericho Appreciation Society.
with
Okay,
right.
and they left, and then
Now they're
just,
good guys. I
don't know.
Is he
But,
still? He's not with Parker anymore. Then Matt and him. Did they do a split? It does. I can't find anything that says they did a split. So, but I like Menard and Garcia get
the only guy that knows that is Tony. Nothing.
maybe.
Yeah.
But them being affiliated with Edge will be good for them. So
You know what's funny on the show? And this is like their selling point, and you hear it constantly. Tell me how many times you hear the guy say this. Tony Schiavone must have says the phrase the phrase "great match" like 5 to 10 times a show. This is a great match. What a great match! What a great match! It's hysterical. I think it's pretty funny. It's like that's their selling point. What a great
It's
match!
almost like remember back in the day when Vince didn't know the names of the moves, and he'd go, "What a maneuver!
what a
Right,
maneuver!"
man. That was
So next is Joe comes out. He was making fun of the draw. He said he thought the championship committee would send them both to the back of the line, but they took a page out of the Texas playbook by making things bigger and dumber by booking a 3-way. This is good verbiage by Joe.
Oh, let me ask you a question before you finish. The Young Bucks haven't wrestled yet, right?
They run later. We'll talk.
Okay, right. Yeah.
Okay. So Joe said he would set in the back of the line, but they took a page out of the Texas playbook by making things bigger and dumber, but making three-way. Just that he's a champion. There's nothing anyone can do about it. And the Swerve comes out with Nana, did the dance. And he said he can't help but feel it's becoming personal the more Joe runs his mouth. Swerve called Joe Squitieri for giving title shots and said he's on his way to becoming one of the greatest of all time and told Joe to check his resume and put some respect on it. Swerve said he's been grinding for 15 years, and Swerve said he's gone toe-to-toe with former world champions and some of the best legends that AEW has to offer. Said he's always the one left standing, and nothing would change a revolution aside from he would hold up the championship, and Hangman Page comes out with no music. He called last week's match, I think he said they edited it. Then Page in the ring and said Swerve had 30 minutes to beat him last week, couldn't do it, and said it was up to him. The match would be between two men who value the championship, everything stands for. This was stupid verbiage because it's like, why would you, like you saying that, like why would you be involved in this too? Page said he doesn't make the match. It looks like Swerve's been added to the title match, and Page went face to face with Swerve, so that everything he's done to him, Swerve doesn't deserve a second of his time, let alone 5 more minutes, because he couldn't get the job done. And Page said Swerve doesn't deserve to be in the championship match. The Joe got between Swerve and Page said the domestic dispute ends tonight. Told both men he'd with both Revolution, slammed the mic down, exit the ring while his music played. And Page and Swerve jawed at each other. What'd you think of the segment?
It didn't really get me excited to see the match, even though I know the match will be good. And I like his last line where he says, well, I may not take you both out, but I guarantee you one of you is going to leave limping.
Right.
Like that.
Yeah. The only thing about this is this was a lot of mic work that they were just stating. They were stating the obvious. Like nothing really, they didn't add anything to this. It was just, they were stating the obvious.
That's why I said I didn't really pique my interest.
So Tony Storm's Wet Pink movie aired, and it focused on the matching tattoos she and the girl had. And she befriended a girl that she felt sorry for her, labeled Purrazzo, a young girl, and said she brought Purrazzo to Japan and helped her get a contract. And said Purrazzo bit the teeth that feeds, and Storm was shown getting tattoo work done. She said that if Purrazzo wants the old Storm, she will get it. She asked, what do you do when you can't change the past? And the camera showed new ink work around the tattoo that she and Purrazzo have. Then they go to Purrazzo, and she was shaking her head at Renee Paquette, and she said, Storm talks too much. Purrazzo should keep it short and sweet. Tony, if I'm going to break your arm, Tony, I'm going to break your arm, Purrazzo said. What did you think of this promo?
Yeah, first she said like an Italian word for somebody that talks too much. Right. And then she was like, yeah, I'm going to break your arm. Okay, now you got me now. I'm real excited to see that. It's like, you know what I'm saying? I think Tony's is the one that's kind of stealing the whole show with the over the top.
More character work is good. Yeah. And the way that
maybe they should.
Is actually good.
Maybe they could have her use Italian slang like that every week. Like
she could be like a Jersey Shore girl.
Yeah, like you little.
She's a. I think that's funny.
What a great name.
They're going to use it. They're going to use it now, I bet.
So the Young Bucks come out of a limo and they're still in their bloody suits from the week before. They wrestled the Top Flight guys who, these guys try to do stuff and connect with the crowd, and it's just like, it just ain't working,
They've been around a long time, too.
Yeah. But basically, Matt covered Darius and used the ropes for leverage, but the referee caught him, and Nick argued with the ref while Matt low-blow Darius. And the Bucks had the EVP trigger on Darius, and then Nick pinned him. I'll be honest. I know they're trying to be heels, but they didn't need to. So to build themselves up, they should just beat these guys pretty clean and quicker. The finish was dubbed the movie of the night for a sponsor replay, and Shivani came to speak with them. And Matt boasted he and Nick are undefeated in 2024, the top unbeatable team in AEW. Said after beating Top Flight, it's interesting that he and Nick are now the number one contenders. They showed the graphic as the number one contenders. Matt accused Shivani of disparaging the company's EVP name and said it may be a breach of contract, and Nick fined Shivani $1,000 right there on the spot. Nick asked Shivani if he had a problem with that, and then nudged him with his shoulder, and he fell down. And then so they picked him up, and they had him in position for the EVP trigger. But then Darby Allin ran in with a baseball bat. And Allin said it was, asked him, he got the mic, and was the Bucks in the alleyway, or the entranceway. And he said, what was the original mission statement of AEW? He said it was to change the world. He said he was homeless when the company started. He begged him for a job, but they didn't see anything in him. Allin said he had to sit by and watch all of your friends get hired, and he referred to them all as a California crew. Allin said thankfully there was one EVP with a brain, and he wasn't talking about Kenny Omega. He was talking about Cody, some fans started chanting Cody. Allin recalled the Bucks doing an interview after re-signed with AEW, and Allin recalled them saying that they re-signed because the travel was light and the money was good. And Allin said the original mission statement is dead. He said he thought it was all elite wrestling, but it looks like all friendship wrestling. He's taking like cornet lines in this promo, right?
That's what I read on Twitter.
Yeah, and Allen recalled not being on the first edition of AEW Dynamite while Brandley Cutler was. He's like, what? Allen said he didn't know what kind of tussle got into while being homeschooled, but they're talking about Sting's final match. He said he doesn't think the Bucks know what they got themselves into, and Allen says Sting is a man with nothing left to lose, and it's showtime. Allen said, "What did you think about this?"
Well, I just think that that's probably true what he's feeling, and we've been saying it for a long time. You've hooked so many people have hooked up their friends, and that's not good for business. It may be good for morale. It ain't good for business. Right. You know, can you imagine you can bring your best friend to work with you? Like a lot of people do that there. Arena Mexico is like that in Mexico. Like right. AAA, if you ain't talented, you ain't gonna be there if you can't draw or you don't have a connection. But you got to bring something besides being somebody's friend. And let me just say this: that I think it's a little bit hypocritical of Darby Allin because he's the one that brought in AR Fox. He brought in this guy's name,
Nick
Wayne. Okay. I'm assuming you brought in his mom, who adds absolutely nothing to the mix.
Yeah. So next, a very awkward interview segment. They have Jay White, Austin Gunn, Colton Gunn, Billy Gunn, Max Caster, and Bowens backstage. And White said they all had gold, but they need to work on their cohesiveness. Then Billy tried to make a suggestion. Austin cut him off and called for a 12-man tag on Rampage. Billy then proposed the same thing and it was well received by the others. Does this make you excited for the 12-man tag coming up?
No, but let me tell you what's even worse. Everybody there, they all have talent. Okay? But Jay White, who, if you remember, I got into a big Twitter war with a lot of fans when I said on the show, they don't push him as a star.
Right.
Bro, they don't push him as a star. This is like a mid-level comedy act.
Bro,
no shade. Okay? And he's with them. He should be by himself. Or if he's gonna have a group, it gotta be a cool group, you know?
This the funniest thing about this is this started under the premise that the Undisputed Kingdom had made these enemies in their reveal of the thing, like, so these guys were collateral damage. Their issue is with the Undisputed Kingdom, and I don't think they've mentioned them or had any interaction with them for like the past 3 weeks. They're just every week is just them trying to get together and team with each other.
Okay, I let the Undisputed Kingdom slide once, but not twice.
So next is Willow Nightingale. So Willow Nightingale is with Stokely Hathaway.
This is weird, yeah. Because Stokely, if you notice, well, I don't know, because it might have happened on other shows, because I watch other shows and they all kind of blend in. He kept showing up like at their interviews, trying to be the manager.
Right.
And that's been the whole storyline. Now he is? Why? How did it happen?
I think he's acting like he is. Okay.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So it's funny. Julia Hart whispered in Sky Blue's ear, then headed to the back. Bro, when was the last time you have heard Julia Hart or Sky Blue speak a word on the show? Like, have you heard their voice?
Been a while.
I think the only I saw Sky Blue do a promo, but it was like for their social media, though. Di
one on TV, right?
4 to 6 weeks. Yeah, I'm saying that's the only time I think I've seen it.
You're always looking for her online.
Yeah, I get a little update every time she posts.
Pull some of the pull some Sky Blue picks up and see the ones where she's.
Okay. Oh, now you're just going to make ringside news again.
I don't. Well, no, I'm just asking. I want to see. I want to see where her progression of this character's gone. She was a baby face, and then scantily clad out there. She was like letting her as she healed. She's like covers it up.
Remember, for a while she just stared, and Julia just stared.
Yeah, they just stared and looked. They stared at each other.
Hey, look, but look, she's got makeup on now.
Yes, but I'm not a fan of the makeup. She's made herself look more unattractive. Like, she definitely doesn't have the she had before.
She looks very nice in that bikini pic right there.
Yeah, pull the bikini pic up. Let's see what she looks like.
Good shape.
Yeah, she looks good. Yeah. But what they're doing with her now is like, I don't understand this. I don't even know what this character is. It's like she's just hanging out with Julia Hart, so I guess we're assuming that she's evil.
Call Tony and ask him.
and the makeup. The makeup tells the tale.
Right. The makeup is the story. So
makeup's brutal.
By the way, here we go. So Excalibur, before this match started, he touted the Rampage It's going to be on earlier this week, 4:00
Okay.
Pacific, not 7. And he said he announced Jeff Hardy versus Sammy Guevara in a no DQ match. Did you see what happened in that match, Konnan?
Yeah, that he landed on his face.
Yeah. Sammy hit him. Well, that's I don't I mean, the spot blends itself.
Was he covering his face with his hand or no?
He was doing a moonsault.
I know. I saw the move, but I don't remember if Jeff covered his face with his hand.
No, he didn't because he was pulling his knees up because Sammy landed on Jeff's knee.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. So yeah, it's very difficult. A high degree of difficulty.
There you go. I got it.
Yeah. Oh, you got the spot?
Yeah.
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 Ouch. Nope. He was not covering his face. No.
Shin right on the face. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So late in this match, Blue called Willow.
There, you can see it right there. Look. Boom.
Yeah, I know. We know what happened.
Yeah. I know.
Willow hit
a little freeze frame Kenny assassination action right there.
Blue called Willow on the ropes and powerbombed her for tune count. And Hathaway said, "Enough of this," and then removed his headset and climbed onto the apron to distract the ref, who did a terrible job of acting like she was distracted. Then Blue hit Willow with the cold blue and had the pin, but Hathaway distracted the ref, and Willow came back with a doctor bomb and scored the pin. And then Taz said, "Whether you like Hathaway or not, he did the right thing by helping Willow when she was having a problem."
He cheated? He distracted the ref? Damn you, Taz.
So then, now why are these guys... Okay, so Orange Cassidy is going to be wrestling Roderick Strong, okay? And this match kind of gestated out of that angle, but Cassidy is wrestling Matt Taven in a Texas death match, all right? So they're doing, they're just...
Right, now, let me just say this to people that don't know or remember, and if you do, well, bear with me. So the Texas Death Match is a match that you've had after guys have been feuding for a while to culminate a feud.
Yeah.
So they attacked them last week or whatever week it was, and now they're in a Texas Death Match.
Yeah,
bro, I know it's a new era, new generation, and things are different, but it works if you do it the way it was intended to do it. Right. You know what I'm saying?
This is shock value match because he wanted...
Yeah, this is hot shotting.
Right.
100% hot shotting. And the problem is, I didn't even think about this Texas Death Match on Valentine. Okay, some people may be into that. But Matt Taven against Orange Cassidy, that's the main event.
Like Matt Taven was in the main event.
Taven, right.
Okay, now the kid is actually a good worker.
Right.
And this poor match did him injustice because they ended up doing all these crazy spots and bleeding all over each other and stuff. Right. So, but the Taven kid... This would have been better just a regular match to do because the guy's a good worker and Cassie's actually a pretty good worker too. Yeah. You didn't.
Well, they probably thought Matt Taven may not be a draw, but the Texas Death Match will be. And
right.
And he.
Joe, look at this. I want to look at the quarter hours too for this last segment here. I want to see if it went down or up for
the overrun.
No, the last 15 minutes. I want to see what.
But let me just say this: the overrun got a higher rating than the last match, and it's funny because overruns usually do that. It's almost like people think, "Oh, the last 5 minutes, something big's going to happen."
Well, plus two, you get people that change the channel from other channels at 10 o'clock to watch the next program.
Right.
So you're grabbing that. Right. Yeah. So it's enough. Having overruns is actually a decent idea because it's a good way to introduce your product to the people. But the people, when they viewed this overrun, they were like going.
A superficial high rating.
Right. Yeah. So we'll just say what they looked at. So they did a spot here where he power bombed him through a chair outside the ring, through a table outside the ring. Then he went and suplexed him onto the table, and Cassidy's head hit the edge of the table and just got busted open and was bleeding profusely for a shoot. Okay, he didn't slice himself. So then the Taven kid started bleeding too, and then they were doing ridiculous spots with the thumb. Bro, this match showed it 811,000 people on a Wednesday on Valentine's night.
Okay.
And what these guys were doing for thumbtacks, he ripped his he ripped his jeans off.
He did a tope through the table.
They were just
Let me just say this: I'm looking at the chart pattern. That was the lowest rated segment of the show.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Well, the way
it go up? It's on the screen.
The overrun went up, but that's it.
Right. Wow. Because it's Matt Taven. You haven't built the guy up enough. And when are they going to realize it's like the ratings come from interest when there's two interesting characters wrestling each other that are higher up in the card. When the characters are not interesting, you have no interest. People are not going to watch the match regardless of what you do in the match. It's ridiculous. Yeah, but
Bro,
the finish is actually good. With the way we put the chain around this thing and hit him with the thing, that looked good. But
Joe, just so you know, almost all weeks the overrun is always high.
Yeah.
Not just this week.
I'm just shocked that like these guys with impunity will just be given like, we need you to go out there and bleed all over the place tonight, and like somebody's like, they're not stepping up and saying like really. Like, why do I need, like, what, like Matt Taven, why would he need to bleed all over the place and do thumbtack spots? Or, like, the angles between Roderick Strong and Cassidy. It's like, why?
They're hot-shotting Disco.
I know.
Because Tony probably believes that if it's a Texas death match, it needs blood.
Right.
And not only that, I can't, you, like, again, going back to what you were alluding, on a Valentine's Day, I can't see too many women, could be wrong, that they're going to want to see blood and attacks and all that.
Unbelievable. So the show actually had some decent heat. A couple segments were good. I like the cage segment, had some good heat. There were no good interviews on this show at all. Actually, no, Darby had a pretty good firing promo.
Yes.
But like there was only one backstage. I think it was only one backstage interview segment, right?
Yeah,
all the guys.
Scissor Gang.
That's it. Wow, that's kind of weird, bro. They literally only did one interview, like this interview segment with the Jacksons.
They did one in the ring,
right, with the Jacksons and Darby,
right,
and then they did
the Scissor Gang backstage,
and that's it.
That's all I remember. Yeah.
There was a video for Tony Storm.
That doesn't count. I'm talking about.
I got
like a promo.
Yeah, Hugo is next. Cool.
That sounds good. All right. Well, that's been our AEW review.
Enjoy the rest of the show. Boom.
That they got a pay-per-view in 2 weeks or whatever. That's ice cold. Ice cold. It's a shame because Joe's, I think Joe's doing really good as champion anyway, but he's good.
Oh no, there wasn't that. That's right. There was the other interview segment with Swerve in there, but they didn't say anything.
Say that again, Konnan. You cut out.
Yeah, I just think that what was the last thing that you were saying?
I said Joe's good as champion. It's a shame.
Yeah. That was the interview segment. Good.
Yeah, that was I just think the problem, Joe, is that the product's cold.
Yeah.
Right.
And if the product's cold, Joe, gets affected.